Hi, everyone. Welcome back to EDU 270. I just wanted to say a quick hi and let you know that this week we're going to be studying all things Google. And if you are not aware by now, School District 2, as well as most schools around Montana, use Google Apps for education. And so I'm going to spend a little bit of time just going over some of those apps with you. Part of the assignment this week is for you to explore on your own some of those tools and get a feel for them. But I just wanted to kind of give you a little bit of an introduction to this information. I just think Google is probably one of those things that everybody thinks, oh yeah, I know Google. I don't need any information about that. I'm good, you know, but there's a ton of information that you'll learn as you're teaching how Google can help you by using a lot of their settings and tools and extensions and apps. So we're going to spend a little bit of time looking at all the different tools and some extensions and some add-ons that you can use. So let's get started. Okay, I'm going to share my screen with you. And I have a presentation that I'll kind of start just to walk us through. And I'll pull that window up. There we go. Okay. So we're going to be focusing this unit on Google Apps for Education. And I just wanted you to be aware that there are so many different apps available inside Google. So let's just take a look at a few. Obviously, Google Chrome is a web browser that allows you to get information to and from the internet. The web store is a place where you go to add tools to your computer, and you add those tools either directly to your computer or as an add-on or an extra part called an extension to your web browser. Google Drive is the tool that allows you to organize all of the content that you create, as well as the content that other people create and share with you. You've probably all used this tool, but just in case, Google Docs is the online version of like a Microsoft Word. So it's the word processing tool. YouTube belongs to Google, if you did not know that. And YouTube is, well, you guys might think of it as the place where you go to watch videos, tutorials, DIYs, or short movies or whatever. But the way I think of it is a tool that allows me to create content and share it with my students. Google Sheets is a spreadsheet. Its Microsoft equivalent is Excel. Google Drawing. Google has its own tool where you can create kind of like a desktop publishing, worksheets and signs and drawings. Google Forms, one of the most powerful tools Google created is a tool called Google Forms. And this is where you would create quizzes or surveys or anything where you want students to give you input. Your tech survey that you took was created in a Google form. And then Google Classroom. Wow, what a revolutionary tool that this has become in education. Google Classroom is an integrated learning system. What that means is it's a tool that teachers use to push out information to students and to collect information from students. So we do this in the way of assignments or material or quizzes, and they're all kind of kept in this cute little box called Google Classroom. And I'm going to show you all of these tools so it'll help you understand what they look like more when you're actually seeing them in action. Also, some tools that you might not have been aware of, and I'm going to go over more than just these, but some of the tools you might not be aware of. Google Keep is kind of like a collaborative note-taking tool. It's great to help you keep to-do lists and collaborate with other people on projects that you might be doing. Google Slides is the equivalent of PowerPoint. So it is creating presentations, or I use it a lot to create worksheets. It's very handy. And then Google Photos is also, wow, super powerful tool. If you take photos on your phone at all, wait a minute, we all take photos on our phone, right? Then you should have Google Photos installed on your phone, because when I take pictures on my phone, they immediately upload into my Google Photos account. What that means is Starbucks has 2 stars for 1 tomorrow. Sorry, that's the message on my phone. Sorry, Google Photos automatically backs up all your photos that you've taken on your phone to the cloud inside Google Photos. So then you can delete all the photos from your phone, cleaning up your storage and allowing you to have more apps or music or whatever it is that you like to keep on your phone. So Google Photos is a super powerful tool. Not only that, but have you ever been like somewhere and you think to, oh, I'd love to show you that picture that I took when we were in Mexico, and it's, oh, it's on my computer at home, or oh, it's on my old phone, or whatever it might be. No matter what device you took that picture on, if you use Google Photos, all your photos are available to you in one place. So super powerful tool. All the tools I talk about are super powerful, actually. I was going to go through, and this is the presentation that I use in my in-class lecture. And so there's a lot of stuff in here that doesn't apply. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of the presentation right now. And I'm actually just going to dig in and show you some of the tools firsthand. So I'll hit escape, and I'm actually going to go to my other account to show you some of these tools. So I'm going to close that guy up. And now my screen sharing turned off because I have to actually go to a different window to get the information that I need. So then I'll turn the screen sharing back on so you can see that. Okay, here we go. Okay, so what you're seeing right now is it's still my Google Chrome window, but it's also my account for Billings Public Schools. And I just wanted to show you that this is a typical window. I did not especially open anything to show you tonight. These are just tabs across the top that I have open on any given day. And to be honest with you, I frequently have a lot more tabs open than what you're seeing right now. So let's talk a little bit about what you're looking at. First of all, the first tab is Google Drive. And if you don't know this tool, you need to learn this tool because it will make your life so much more efficient and productive. So Google Drive has a system of folders and files that helps you organize all of your work. You can actually, I'm just going to come over here to the left-hand side and expand my drive. You can create folders and you can color code them. You can share them out with people you're collaborating with. You can put information inside those folders. So for example, I'm going to use this folder, coding, and I can actually just share something inside that folder. I don't have to share the whole folder. I can be kind of selective in what I want people to see. So Google Drive is this collaborative backup, storage, and production area. I hope that makes sense. So if I'm going to create anything that I'm using in teaching, I always go to Google Drive and then I click New. And then here's the amazing thing. Here are my tools that I use to create. So I've got Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides, Forms, and if I click on More, holy Hannah, I've got drawings and maps and sites, which is our website builder. And I even have third-party tools connected that they're apps that are connected to my Drive account in Google, because that's how powerful Google is. Other companies want to be a part of it, and so they connect their apps to Google. So this tool you're seeing here called Coggle, that's not a Google app. It's just something I can use with my Google account. Collaborify is another tool that I like to use. And these I've all added myself. So if I scroll all the way to the bottom, you can see it says connect more apps. Well, this is super cool because here's where you can learn to harness the power of what Google has. So I'm going to click on Connect More Apps, and it literally is going to take me to what's called the marketplace. And if I'm looking for something specific, maybe I'm looking for a word cloud tool. Hopefully that sounds familiar to you. I can click on or type in word cloud, and look at this. There are tools that I can connect, not a lot, but a few, that I can connect to my Google account to create word clouds if I wanted to do that. Maybe there are tools that I want to, I'll type in mind map. Those are graphic organizers that you would use to help you organize if you're researching and you want to kind of put things in an organized manner. You might use mind maps. Students use mind maps all the time. As a matter of fact, mind maps are considered one of the top 5 best teaching strategies to have students create mind maps or graphic organizers because it helps them retain the information. So having one of these connected would be great, connected to your Google account. So you can see there are all these different types of tools that I can connect to my Google account and just increase my productivity 100-fold, honestly, 100-fold. It's amazing. That's just one tool I've shown you, Google Drive. Okay, so the next tab that I have open is a Google Sheet, and I use this all the time for my students when I'm asking them, for example, what you're looking at right now is they had to tell me some choices for their biography project that we're getting ready to do. And then I approve them or don't approve them. And if you look right here, there's a share button, and I will share this. I'll just do it right now so you can see how it works. If I'm going to collaborate on this document, or maybe I'm just sharing it to give her information with the teacher, then what I would do is click on that share button, type in her name, and then I can even leave her a quick message. I don't have to leave a message if I don't want to, but I can. And then here's what happens. When I click send, Mrs. Sign-In is going to get an email that says, Desiree Caskey has shared a Google Sheet with you called Sign-In Biography Choices. She can open it up and she can work in it and make changes, add things. I can change that if I want to right here. I can say maybe I just want her to view it, or maybe I want her to view it and add comments. Nope, I want her to be editor. So I'm going to leave that right there. When I click send, that has now been shared with her. And there are 2 of us that can collaborate and contribute to this document. It's pretty cool. Okay, this is just a simple document that I have. I have teachers that I share accounts with in a tool called Epic. So I was making these signs, and I was just using Google Docs to make these quick signs that I'll then laminate and have available for my students for each of the individual classes. So look at the tools that you have. If you've never used Google Docs, it's just a typical word processing tool. You have all the normal font size, bold italicize, you can center, left justify, right justify, you can change your spacing, all those things. But here's the power of using a Google Doc. If I go right to this tool right here, it says add comment. This is wonderful if I'm doing any kind of writing activity with my students where I have them in a document and I want to help them with their writing. Maybe I'm going to proofread it and give them some suggestions. This tool right here, add comment, and you could even add it for yourself, it doesn't matter. But if I'm a teacher and I'm looking at student work, I can actually comment right on their document. So I might say, something like that, right, for my student. Or I might say, expand on this idea or something. And then I click comment, and notice how this is highlighted. When it's highlighted, the comment shows up. And so the student and the teacher get to communicate back and forth amongst each other. The student can even reply to my comment and say, can you help me? Where did I go wrong? Or what do I need to fix? And you can have this whole conversation beside the document, and the teacher never touches the content of the paper. So the integrity never changes from teacher to student in the content of that document. Super, super powerful. You wrapping all this up in this neat present, I would do a lot of this work, like I'm talking collaboration between student and teacher, in the tool called Classroom, which I don't have open yet, but I will in just a second. So Google Docs, super powerful. You share the exact same way that I showed you in Sheets just a second ago. You click on the share button, you type in the email address of the person that you want to share it with. You can leave a message or not, and then click send, and they'll automatically get that. So I'm actually not going to share that with myself. I've already shown you Sheets, so I'm going to skip that one. So, and I'm not going to show you my email because you don't need to read any of my messages, but email is a powerful tool. Google Calendar is used almost, well, definitely daily. Google Calendar is used daily by your principal, by your specialists, by your teaching partner, and all of your anything that's scheduled, meetings, IEPs, duties that you have, all of that will be shared in Calendar, and this tool will become something that you will just have to look at every day to make sure that you're not missing anything that you're supposed to be doing. Super powerful tool. Okay. YouTube. Oh my gosh. YouTube is probably one of the most used tools in education that I know of, because every company that's involved in education has a YouTube channel and provides teaching material. Do not underestimate the power of YouTube, because there's so much you can do here. So the first thing that you want to do is, when you're searching YouTube and you find a good provider of information, for example, I'm just going to go on the left-hand side. Harper Kids is a great provider of YouTube videos for students that I teach. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I click on the subscribe button for that provider, and then they're automatically going to show up in my YouTube channel. Because if you have a Google account, you have a YouTube channel. So you can collect these providers. When I do that, then I have access to all the videos that that provider has created. If you look over on the left-hand side, you can see I have the History Channel, I have PBS, I have Penguin Kids, I have Scholastic, Roald Dahl, the Science Channel, Sesame Street. I'm sure you've heard of a lot of these. There's just so many providers that can help you enhance your teaching if you just take advantage of it. A couple things I wanted to talk to you about with YouTube. By the way, we all have the ability to use YouTube to provide content, whether somebody else made it or we make it ourselves. YouTube is available for us to push material out to our students. This little button right here that I'm clicking on, this little plus button, is what I use to upload my videos I've created when I create tutorials or introduction videos or something. That's how I would add it to my channel itself. So I'm going to sneak over here for a second, and I'm just going to go to where it says your videos. These are videos that I have created and have made available for others to see. Sorry, little pop-ups coming up around here. And so I'm just going to come over here to the left-hand side. I'm going to click on playlists. You probably know what playlists are. They're collections of videos or songs, whatever, that are related. And if you look, I've got multiple playlists, and then inside those playlists, there are collections of videos. So for example, I'll go to my stop motion playlist here. If you look, these are all related videos on the topic stop motion. And so I've uploaded these videos into my channel. I've created this playlist and put all these related videos together all in one place. It's pretty cool. Okay, I'm going to sneak back for a second. I'm going to close my channel playlist. I'm going to come back to going to get out of the studio is what I'm going to do. Oops, sorry, I went to the wrong place. My channel. Okay. When I go to my channel, I'm going to go back to my subscribers. I'm just going to click on Discovery. We know there's some great stuff in Discovery, but you also know there are some things that are probably not appropriate for students. So you have to be thoughtful about what's there and what you can use. So for example, if you're using a video in Shark Week, you're not going to want your students to go to the Discovery channel and then scroll down like I'm doing. You're going to want to make sure you take the video that you want your students to watch and you bring it up front and center for them to watch. Do you notice that I don't have any ads surrounding or related videos surrounding my video? I only have my YouTube video showing. That's because I have something called an extension installed in my Chrome web browser that allows me to eliminate all the excess noise that I don't want my students to become distracted by. So I'll be talking to you about extensions in another video. This is just a super cool, there are a lot of great extensions that you can use for watching YouTube videos. The extension I'll show you in another video is called Distraction Free YouTube, and it gets rid of all the excess. Another extension is called Turn Out the Lights. And what that allows me to do is it allows me to play a YouTube video without seeing anything else. So it dims everything else but the video that's in front of me. So there's a lot of great tools that you can use. Okay, now if I'm going to show this to my students, I might need to find a way to share it with them. I don't know that I would go to my YouTube channel and pull it up like this. I would probably put it in a tool like Google Classroom or Seesaw or ClassKick, something like that, so it would be shared with them. And so again, here's how you share a YouTube video. You click share, and then you can copy the link, and then you go to the tool that you want to use, whether it's in your email or it's in Google Classroom or it's Seesaw, whatever tool you use to share your information, then you're going to paste that in there. Okay, I hope that makes sense. All right, so we've looked at a lot of different tools. I'm going to show you one more tool, two more tools in the Google Apps for Education, just to give you a good variety of all the different tools you can use. Here's one of my favorites, and it might seem kind of weird that Jamboard would be a favorite, but it's a really cool tool. It's a fairly new tool to Google Classroom or to Google. So I'll give you an idea of how it works. So this is my dashboard for Jamboard. These are my recent jams. That's what they're called. My recent jams. And the way that they work best is you create a jam and then you share it and let other people come in and collaborate with you. So I'm going to show you an example of a jam that was created a little while ago. Now, if you look up here at the top, it says 1 of 3, and these 3 things are called frames. So there are 3 frames in here. And if you look at this particular frame, this is the directions frame, and it says to create a Post-it note, click on this image, and then it shows you this little guy, which is right over here. So you can see there are people that have been creating Post-it notes and just practicing using this tool. Now I'm going to go to the next frame, and you can see another idea. So here is a main question, and then it's broken down into 4 quadrants. So in this particular training, the question was, what questions do you still have? There might be something you need to finish, right? Finish up in your thoughts. And so the way that this works is, here's categories for the questions. Maybe you have a question still about ELA, and again, this was a specific training, so math or social studies or science or technology. And then what they do is you grab your little sticky note and you type the information that you want in there, and then click save and drag it to the area that you want it to be in, to the quadrant that you want. Super simple, but it's a great way to use it. And then finally, here's a blank one. If you wanted to do something that was In person, you might use a blank frame and then say, okay, let's use the tools we have, which are text tools, object tools, images, sticky notes, a pen, erasers, and let's collaborate on X. It might be a group of students that are collaborating on research of a specific animal or a country or a person, or who knows what it could be. But the idea behind Jamboard is you have these frames that are collaborative work areas for students. You can kind of guide, I'll use that word, by putting stuff in. So for example, here's one that I did just recently for a class I'll start on Monday. Just using sticky notes. So I'm guiding them by putting this text up here. And then you can tell your students what you need to do down below. Or maybe you just give them a blank frame and you give them oral instructions. Who knows? Just understand that Jamboard has a ton of potential. And again, you share it the same way you share a Google Doc or a Google Sheet. You click on the share button and then put in the email address of the person you want to share it with. Okay, last one. Google Keep. And notice I'm just using my Omnibox and typing in the name of the tool and it pops up for me. To me, that works pretty quickly. Okay, so Google Keep is, simply put, a place to organize your thoughts, a place to make lists, a place to collect information that you just need to have it there, and maybe you need to do something with it later, who knows. But this is just a great place for you to make digital sticky notes. The cool thing about the digital sticky notes is they can contain hyperlinks, images, videos. They can have all this stuff in them, and you can share them out. Excuse me. So if I wanted to start taking a note right now, I might put EDU 270 ideas, right? Now I'm just going to click on the title and type EDU 270. And these are my EDU 270 ideas. And I might want to have it be a reminder for me that I wrote down a couple things and that I was going to add this into a future video. I can collaborate with other people. So this is where I would invite them to join me in the sticky note. I can change the color of my note if that might make a difference for me. I can add images. Once I've added some stuff, I can archive the note, or if I'm done with it, I can get rid of it. But I just simply come in here and throw some ideas out here. And if I know I'm going to go to a website, I can type in the web address, and when I hit enter, it's automatically a hyperlink. I can also come up and copy the web address and come down and paste it too. A super quick way to do it, okay? I can also undo anything I've done. I have all these different choices here where I can add labels to my note. I can add a drawing. I can make a copy of my note. I can show checkboxes, which is nice to do, like to-do lists. Or I can even take this and then throw it into a Google Doc. If I've decided that this is going to be my outline before I start typing my paper, then what I've got in my outline, I can just copy over to Google Doc, take out the things that don't make any sense, clean it up, add my details of support, and I've got my paper, my work that I need. Super powerful tool. I wanted to explain one thing really quickly. Add a label. What that means when you say add a label is organize it. It's kind of like putting it into a folder. So if you look over here on the left-hand side, I have 5th grade, KC Club, PD notes. These are all organized collections of sticky notes because I've gone to my sticky note and said add a label. And so that would automatically show up over here. Oh my gosh. There's so much in the Google Apps for Education, and I can honestly tell you I have not even covered a tenth of what's available in the Google tools that are available to us. As I said, there will be other videos that show you some other tools. I'm going to talk to you about the Omnibox in a different video. I'm going to talk to you about extensions and add-ons in yet another video. So there is so much stuff that you can see valuable stuff you can see in the Google suite of tools. So if you've not taken the time to just really dig in and see what you can do, I would strongly encourage you to give yourself a task, like create a timeline of a famous person, or outline, the bare bones of a paper you've got for another class, and then kind of look at the Google tools and see which one would help you do that the best. They're pretty powerful. So I encourage you to take a look at them and explore them a lot, because you're going to be using them. When you get your own classroom, you will be immersed in Google, and so will your students.